Dawn, LA gets the start tonight along with Aaliyah and Bree. Was that more focused effort to try to get the bigs more involved to really set the inside-out game right away, or is that just the way things kind of work?
No, V had a death in the family, so she wasn't with us for part of the week, and I just thought LA prepped well, and I know V would have probably wanted us to continue with our prep work, and if she was back, then great. If she wasn't back in time, then LA would fill in.
Matthew, and then we'll go to Keith.
You're on mute.
Yeah, it helps if you unmute yourself. My bad. Talk about the impact of putting, Alexa Williamson and Mia Davis, Temple's two post players, in foul trouble with 3 fouls each entering the half. What effect does that have on your team's approach in the second half?
Yeah, we didn't go into the game just trying to attack them, but we knew that what they meant to their team. We knew also that we were going to have to play them defensively, and they were going to be a bear to deal with. What we wanted to do is make them play on both sides of the ball. So anytime that we had an opportunity to, we call it Kobe them or isolate, we wanted to put them under a little bit of duress and see if they would either give us an easy layup or try to contest our shots. And luckily for us, they didn't play their normal minutes. If they're able to play their normal minutes, then they can be really impactful.
Keith, and then Greg.
Coach, when LA had the fast break in the first half, did you think she was going to dunk it? And could the bench, were they kind of anticipating the dunk?
She was actually going to dunk it, but she felt like she got undercut. Someone took her legs out. But that is the motion I saw back 2 years ago when she was in AAU at Boo Williams. That is the same exact motion that she took. And I did when she came over during the timeout. I asked her if she was going to do it. She was like, yeah, I was. And someone took my legs out. So I think she'll get one in, at some point this year.
Greg, and then Matt.
It looked like in the first quarter there was maybe a little rust that needed to be knocked off. What did you see from the team, and I guess how important was it for Zaya, especially to have that quick start to carry you guys a little bit?
We were a little lethargic when it came to just coming out. I think after, being off for 10 days and then having the practices that we've had and the emphasis on just making sure we're taking pretty good shots and we're defending the way we're supposed to, very disciplined. I wasn't too concerned about it because they're thinking, and I want them to think because now that they're thinking, hopefully some of this stuff will become habit and they'll do less thinking and more just read and reacting.
Matt, and then Pete.
Going off that, Coach, 6 turnovers tonight against any team. How happy does that number make you?
Truly happy. That's one of the areas in which I don't think we have a huge problem with it. I think sometimes, we shoot ourselves in the foot. We get in our own way when it comes to doing too much. But you see the turnovers that we did have. I thought we just tried to put, too much mustard on the hot dog. And they're aware. So that again, when they're aware of it, that means they're learning. Their wheels are turning. Any other time, they would just let it roll off their backs. But now they're thinking about, oh, yes, I probably should have just been more disciplined and make the easy play.
Pete, and then Mitch.
Dawn, how do you handle this stretch? Like you said, it was 10 days between this game. It's another 2 weeks between the next game. Or is this good for these guys? Because, like you say, they are thinking and learning and, trying to get away from what happened against NC State.
The taking amount of time that we're taking off is probably not good for any team when it comes to just basketball. But I do think mentally it'll help them just kind of decompress and love up on their families and, to enjoy themselves. Sometimes, rest is not sometimes. Rest is equally as important as working out. they're not going to go home and just veg out. You know, our strength coach is sending them home with stuff that they need to do and report back to her. And our players, they have created great protocol, COVID protocol habits, and hopefully they'll continue those and come back to us ready to go and finish this year out.
Mitch and then Cam.
Coach Zaya said you talked to her about not doing the fancy things tonight. Obviously, in the past 2 games, you guys have moved the ball more. You said you guys were going to emphasize that. Do you feel like you're moving in the right direction to where you're not just looking to get one person the ball, you're moving the ball around each time and each possession down the court?
Yeah, I mean we're working really hard at it. You know, Zaya is, I'm proud of Zaya. Zaya hasn't had consecutive shooting over 50% games, and last year, this year, and she said or high school. So, it's great to see the evolution of a player, and I don't know how long this will last, but I think she's seeing that, if she just leans her game out, just lean it out a little bit, she's going to get great shots. And that's what she's doing. She's not forcing the issue. Like some of the plays that she made in the game, she got a little bit outside of herself. But we could handle 3 or 4 of those. We just can't handle 7 to 10 of them a game. 3 to 4, with her shooting the ball the way she is, an offense, a team can handle that. It is a 7 to 10 times, and then those empty possessions, they really hurt us. But it's everybody. I thought everybody got better in game situations. Stuff you do in practice is good, but if you aren't able to do that in a game, it's just practice. But I thought Destiny Littleton had a spurt where she just looked like her normal self, and I hope she bottles it up, and it comes back with more plays, just connecting those good plays together.
Cam and then David.
Hey, Coach, you've mentioned a couple times this season how one of the things this team had to figure out was the new roles with Ty and Kiki gone, and how people need to fill in for them. Tonight, did you start to get a better sense of these girls kind of figuring out their roles a little bit better and playing to them a little bit more fully than they have in games past?
I mean, we're a work in progress when it comes to that. They're thinking. They're asking questions like, was that a bad shot? And I want them to ask that, because I want them to lean their games out, because we only want our players to look great. Like, we only want them to look good when we're in a game situation and the lights are on, because that builds confidence. So if we can eliminate some of the bad plays, we could probably lift their confidence level up a little bit more. But bad plays don't lend well to your confidence, and their confidence, and then having us say something about it doesn't help the situation. But they have to learn, and once they are equally involved in the process, I think it helps everybody.
David, and then we'll close it out with Keith.
Dawn, what is the plan for the holidays? Do the kids get to go home at all? Do they have to stay on campus with COVID and all? Or how many days do they get, to go home for Christmas or whatever?
Yeah, we're off now. We it's a staggering 7 days. So they have to come back on Christmas Day. So they'll be back next Friday. And we'll take it from there. Everybody's going home besides 3 of our players. 3 will stay in town because, they're pretty serious about not wanting to go home and putting themselves in harm's way. They want to play.
All right, last question to Keith.
Hey, Coach, talk about Anaya Russell. She seemed really dialed in the first half, and it just seems like her confidence is growing, and you can just see the quickness and the athleticism. What do you anticipate for her going into conference play now?
I mean, for Anaya, again, I'm happy for her. I know how explosive she is offensively. I mean, she's got great court vision. Um, she just has to know when to utilize those things. I think tonight she was really, full speed ahead and just getting up in there and making putting the defense back on their heels. Some defenses aren't going to allow that. So she's got to know when to push and pull. She's got to know when, to find other teammates. And that's a learned process for a freshman. And she's learning. She's committed. She's coachable. Her defense has gotten a lot better. And that's in practice. So I'm hoping, that by the time that, midway through our SEC season, that she can start seeing those things and connecting pretty good plays together. So I like her progress so far.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone. Everyone have a good holiday. We'll see you in the new year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to
Merry Christmas,
everybody. Y'all
Coach.
be safe.